Looks like the biggest move of the offseason is going to be by the New York Mets as they are deep into talks to acquire Francisco Lindor from the Cleveland Indians. This to me is just unbelievable as a Mets fan, as a Francisco Lindor fan, just that it would come to this because the whole mentality of the Mets has been we're not looking to trade, we're more so looking for free agency. We have this newfound money, we don't want to give up prospects, we don't want to give up young talent. The only way you're getting Francisco Lindor is by giving up young talent. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the trade, what it means for the Mets, what it means for the Indians, what I think about it, and what the Mets could do next, because this is definitely is a massive deal. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like, comment. What do you think about the Francisco Lindor trade? How excited or disappointed are you with how much the Mets gave up? That has not come out quite yet, but I do imagine it is a ton because Lindor is that good. You have to keep in mind that the Mets were not the only team going after Lindor, so other teams were competing with maybe even better packages than the Mets. And also, make sure to subscribe. We're working our way towards 700 subscribers. Always enjoy communicating with you guys in the comments section. So I still am completely in shock that the New York Mets are probably getting Francisco Lindor. I mean, this guy is just about as good as they come as far as baseball players are concerned, because you're obviously not getting Mike Trout, you're not getting Mookie Betts. So other than that, how many really top tier players are there? Like top 5 guys in the league. I think Francisco Lindor is a guy that could be in that equation because we talk about do-it-all players. This is a guy that does it all. He plays shortstop, which is a position that is extremely important. You always talk about good, successful teams. They're built up the middle. And having the best shortstop in the league, a guy who is a gold glover just about every year, already improves your defense out a ton. The next thing Francisco Lindor does very well is the fact that he is a switch hitter. So he gives you as much lineup balance as possible, because you can't say, oh, the Mets lineup is too left-handed, or, oh, they don't have enough guys contributing from the right side. Well, Lindor could do both. He also could hit anywhere in the order because of his speed. Lindor is a guy that could steal bases. So if you need him to be your leadoff hitter, he could do that. You need him in the 2-hole or to bat third, because Francisco Lindor also has power. He just has the complete package. This is a guy that could give you 30 home runs. He also could hit for a 300 average. I mean, these are all things that he has done in the past consistently. Didn't have a great 2020, but so many star players didn't. Top guys in the league all had bad years. Guys like Christian Yelich, Javi Baez, these players are MVP finalists, like the best players in the league. So, and Lindor didn't have a bad year. It just wasn't Francisco Lindor's standards. And the fact is, the guy's only 27 years old, so the best Francisco Lindor could still be to come. Now, when you make this kind of a trade, it would make sense that you have to extend Francisco Lindor because he is on the final year of his deal. And if I'm the Mets, I'm willing to give him a 10-year deal. Why? Number one, I just talked about how good he is, but because of that age, the fact that in 10 years he's 37, his career is probably just about over, and I feel like for the most part of that contract, you will get just amazing years, and it is so exciting, a guy like him. He fits what the Mets are right now. When you look at this Mets lineup, guys like Pete Alonso that have a ton of energy and really feed off the crowd, Francisco Lindor is exactly like that. He is a guy that plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. You see him smiling all the time and making jokes and everything. He is going to fit right in with this New York Mets team, and he is just a great fit for New York as well, because he's a guy that I feel like he could play in New York just because, again, we talk about the emotions that he has. I think that would translate pretty well, and overall, I am just super excited as a Met fan, as a Francisco Lindor fan, though somebody I've obviously watched a lot with Cleveland. So I definitely am just super excited. I can't say that enough because I wasn't expecting this. I had said that I don't think the Mets going to go after Lindor. I really thought it was going to be Springer. That's all we heard about. George Springer all the time. Now, what I think this means is no George Springer. I think he is going to the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays offered him a crazy amount of money, and he's taking it because that's the only reason why the Mets would say, oh, let's go get Lindor. This was the Mets' backup plan if they did not get George Springer, and this is quite a backup plan if you ask me. I think as long as the Mets don't give up anything too crazy, then I would say that this was a much better move because Lindor is younger than George Springer. We talked about, okay, well, you imagine you have to give Springer a 5 to 6 year deal. So you can't have 5 to 6 years in center field at 31. You're going to have to move him over. Well, Francisco Lindor, since he's younger, he could age much better. The other thing that could be at the Mets' advantage here is negotiating with Francisco Lindor during a pandemic where a lot of players, maybe Lindor is willing to take a cheaper deal to stay. I'm not quite sure because we'll see what happens the rest of free agency. We'll see what the JT Realmutos and Trevor Bauers of the world get, because if this upcoming season gets delayed again and there aren't that many fans in attendance and owners don't make money again, not many teams are going to be looking to give Francisco Lindor an insane amount of money that he does deserve. So maybe since the Mets have the money, that he would be willing to stay with the Mets for a much cheaper deal. So it definitely is very exciting. And now that you got, I would say, the big-time player, we have to see who they gave up, because now it's going to come down to, well, what other positions are you going to fill in? I imagine that one of the Mets shortstops was in this trade. I'm thinking that it had to be a Rosario or Jimenez. I'm really hoping that it's Rosario, not Andres Jimenez. Guy has too much upside, too much talent to really get rid of. But somebody else, I'm imagining that it's either going to be, and they're getting Carlos Carrasco, that this just came out as well. So now the Mets have killed two birds with one stone. I'm trying to see what else we're trying to get here, as now more details are coming out. And Jimenez is in the deal. Oh, no. Okay, well, now it's looking that Carlos Carrasco is coming back to the Mets, so they've done something for their rotation, which we know they need. Gave up Jimenez, which, you know, you definitely do not love because of all the upside he has. But I'm trying to see who else is in. It looks like the Mets, they were giving up Ryan Wolf, a second-round pitcher. Okay, that's not too bad, but overall, right now, we're seeing Jimenez, and I think that's about it so far. I'm sure we'll get more details oh, okay. Anything more? No. So it says Jimenez, Josh Wolf, among others. You know what? I'll be honest with you. If you could just get Lindor for mostly Jimenez, I don't think that's that bad. I really, really don't. Because if you tell me that the Mets also got Carlos Carrasco, so you got something for rotation, you kept J.D. Davis, and you kept Nimmo, let's go. I mean, I think we're ready to go. As long as you didn't give up Nimmo or JD or any other big-time prospect like a Matthew Allen or Francisco Alvarez or Armstrong or any of these other guys, we're good to go. Because if we got the shortstop and we got the starting pitcher, now we could get Brad Hand or Liam Hendricks. I'd say we're pretty much set. So this is just a wonderful day in Mets history. Finally, some huge news. I mean, this is just a blockbuster, massive deal. Super excited, and definitely more fun videos to come. So until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and let's go Mets.